The distress signal had been looping for 12 hours before anyone answered. Commander Ryan Hale didn't expect much when he picked it up. Out here, beyond the mapped edges of human expansion, signals usually meant debris, dead ships, or automated systems long abandoned. But this one was different. It wasn't human. The frequency was unfamiliar, layered, shifting in patterns that didn't match any known communication protocol. Yet the translation software aboard his ship, Ardent Resolve, struggled and then succeeded.
Barely.
Systems failing, environmental collapse, immediate assistance required. Ryan leaned closer to the console. That's not possible, he muttered. Lieutenant Mara Singh glanced over.
What?
It's an alien signal, he said. And it's recent. Mara went still. How recent? Ryan checked the timestamp. Minutes. That changed everything. Coordinates, she asked. Ryan hesitated. Because the coordinates placed the source deep inside the Caris expanse, a region known for one thing: extreme cold. Not just absence of heat. A kind of cosmic anomaly where temperature itself behaved wrong. Ships avoided it. Sensors malfunctioned there. And anything caught inside rarely came back. We shouldn't go in, Mara said quietly. Ryan knew she was right. But the signal played again. Fainter this time. Breaking. Won't survive. He made his decision. Set course, he said. The ship that should not exist. They found it half buried in a drifting field of crystalline ice. Massive structures that glowed faintly in the darkness, like frozen lightning suspended in space. The alien vessel was unlike anything Ryan had ever seen. It wasn't built. It looked grown. Curved surfaces flowed into one another, smooth and seamless, as if shaped by intention rather than machinery. Parts of it flickered in and out of visibility, like it couldn't fully exist in one dimension. Life signs? Ryan asked. Mara scanned the readings, frowning. There's one, she said. Barely. Ryan didn't hesitate. Prep boarding team. The first encounter. The interior of the alien ship was cold. Not just physically. The cold seeped deeper, into thoughts, into perception, into something harder to define. Ryan felt it immediately. Stay sharp, he said, his breath visible in the dim, shifting corridors. Their suits struggled to compensate. Systems flickered. Sensors glitched. This place is killing our tech, one of the crew muttered. Then we don't stay long, Ryan replied. They followed the life sign deeper into the structure, until they found her, the alien in the ice. She was suspended in a chamber of translucent crystal, her body encased in a thin layer of frost that shimmered with faint blue light. At first glance, she looked human, but only at first. Her skin carried a subtle luminescence, like light beneath the surface. Her hair drifted weightlessly, even in still air. And her eyes, when they opened, were not human at all. They glowed. Sharp. Aware. Dangerous. Ryan froze. The ice around her cracked. Shattered. And she stepped forward. You should not be here. Her voice echoed strangely. Not through sound, but directly into their minds. You should not be here. Ryan steadied himself. We received your distress signal. She studied him, not just looking, analyzing. You are not of this region. No, Ryan said. But you needed help. Something flickered in her expression. Confusion. Then, amusement. Help, she repeated. She took a step closer. Ryan felt the cold intensify. You're dying, he said. Your systems are failing. She tilted her head. I am not dying. A pause. You are. Middle. A deadly truth. The temperature inside the ship dropped further. Warning alarm screamed inside Ryan's helmet. Commander, we need to leave, Mara said urgently.
Now.
But Ryan didn't move. What do you mean? He asked. The alien's gaze sharpened. Your physiology cannot withstand this environment, she said. You are already failing. Ryan checked his vitals. She was right. His core temperature was dropping fast. Too fast. How are you surviving? He demanded. Her answer was simple. I was made for this. The offer. Ryan staggered slightly. The cold was becoming unbearable. His suit was failing. His vision blurred. The alien watched him calmly. Then she spoke. You won't survive alone, she told the human. The words cut through the haze. What are you saying? He asked. She stepped closer. Close enough that he could feel something else beneath the cold. Warmth. Faint, but real. Your body requires heat, she said. Mine generates it. Ryan blinked. You're offering to help? Her expression didn't change. I am stating a fact. A necessary alliance. There wasn't time to argue. Ryan's team was already retreating, dragging weakened crew members back toward the shuttle. Commander, Mara shouted. We have to go. Ryan looked at the alien, then at his failing systems, then back at her. Fine, he said. What do we do? She stepped even closer, and for the first time, she reached out. Contact. Her hand touched his arm. The effect was immediate. Warmth surged through him, not external, but internal, as if his body itself had been reignited. Ryan gasped. What is this? He asked. Thermal synchronization, she said. That's not a thing. It is now. Despite the situation, Ryan almost laughed. Trapped together. The truth became clear quickly. The shuttle couldn't stay. The environment was too unstable. Ryan had two choices. Leave immediately and die before reaching safety, or stay with her. Commander, Mara said over comms, her voice strained. We can't maintain position. We have to pull back. Ryan closed his eyes briefly, then made the call. Go, he said. Silence. Sir. That's an order. Reluctantly, the shuttle withdrew, leaving him alone with the alien. 2 worlds, 1 survival. The chamber grew quiet. Ryan sat against the crystalline wall, breathing slowly as his body stabilized. The alien remained nearby, watching. You could have left, she said. I wouldn't have made it, he replied. She nodded slightly. Correct. A pause. What's your name? He asked. She hesitated, as if the concept itself required translation. Caliph. Ryan, he said. She studied him again. Ryan, she repeated, understanding the cold. Over time, though time itself felt strange in that place, Ryan learned the truth. The Kari's expanse wasn't just cold. It was a region where energy dissipated abnormally. Heat didn't just escape. It vanished. Most life couldn't exist there. But Calith's species had evolved to generate internal energy at extraordinary levels. They weren't just resistant to the cold. They thrived in it. So, why the distress signal? Ryan asked. She looked away. I did not send it. He frowned. Then who did? Her silence was answer enough. The hidden threat. They found it deeper in the ship. A fracture. Not physical. Dimensional. Something had breached the vessel. Something that didn't belong. Ryan felt it before he saw it. A presence. Cold, not like the environment. Colder. Wrong. It followed me, Caliph said quietly. Ryan glanced at her. Followed you from where? She didn't answer, because they were no longer alone. The entity in the cold. It appeared as a distortion, a shadow that bent reality around it. And when it moved, the temperature dropped even further. Ryan's system screamed in protest. What is that? He demanded. Calith's voice was tense for the first time. A predator. Of what? Her answer was chilling. Energy. Life. Heat. Ryan tightened his grip on his weapon. So, it eats everything? Yes. The fight for survival. The entity moved toward them.
Slow.
Deliberate. Ryan fired. The shots passed through it. Useless. It's not physical, he shouted. Calith stepped forward. For the first time, she looked afraid.
Stay close, she said.
Ryan didn't argue. The bond deepens. As the entity approached, Calith placed both hands on Ryan. The warmth intensified. Their connection strengthened. Ryan felt something shift, not just in his body, but in his mind. He could sense her thoughts, her awareness.
We're linked, he said.
Temporarily, she replied.
Good, he said.
Because we're going to need more than heat. The plan. They couldn't fight it directly, but they could outlast it. Your species generates energy, Ryan said. That thing consumes it. So what if we overload it? Calith finished. He nodded. Exactly. She hesitated. That would require more energy than I can safely produce. Ryan met her gaze. Then we do it together. And the heat that saved them. The plan was simple, dangerous, possibly fatal. They would combine their energy, human and alien, and release it all at once. A surge, a burst, enough to overwhelm the entity. You might not survive, Calith said. Ryan shrugged weakly. Story of my life. The final moment. The entity closed in. Reality warped around it. Ryan and Calith stood together. Connected. Ready? He asked. She looked at him. At the human who should not have survived. Who stayed.
Who chose to fight.
Yes. The release. Energy surged. Heat unlike anything Ryan had ever felt. Blinding. Overwhelming. The entity recoiled. Then
collapsed. Dispersed. Gone.
Aftermath. Silence returned. The cold stabilized. Ryan collapsed to his knees. You okay? He asked. Calith stood still. Then she nodded. We survived. Ryan smiled faintly. Told you. Epilogue. Not alone anymore. Rescue came hours later. Ryan was barely conscious when they found him. But he wasn't alone. Calith stood beside him, unmoving, watching. As they carried him away, later, on a human station, Ryan woke. The first thing he saw was her. You stayed, he said. She tilted her head. You would not survive alone. Ryan laughed weakly. Yeah, I figured. A pause. Then he looked at her. So, what now? For the first time, Calith hesitated, then said, Now we learn how to survive together. And somewhere beyond the stars, the cold waited, but for the first time, it was no longer something to face alone.